wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update as we are watching the events that are really intensifying around Syria. We have just seen where a warning had came out to air traffic in the eastern Mediterranean area for the next 72 hours because of a possible launch of Tomahawk missiles. So therefore, they have been warned to stay clear of this area. As well, we have this report, as you can see on your screen, breaking today. Russian MOD has asked Iran to provide access to its RIAF and its 3rd Tactical Fighter Base in Hamadan to deploy its heavy bombers, probably the Tu-22s, the Tu-95s, 278 tankers, and use it for refueling point for fighter jets, which are planned to be deployed to Syria soon. So it looks like Russia is definitely not taking any chances whatsoever. They are fully believing that the U.S. is going to launch an attack, and they are also trying to make preparations for that particular attack. As we mentioned earlier, China, according to that one French news article, would be joining the Russian Navy. Now, I've not been able to cross-reference that as of yet, but we do know there's been other reports in the past where China has offered military help to Syria. They've offered to back Syria in the event of war. So very troubling to see how this alliance may work out. Iran, according to Press TV, vows crushing response to the enemy's missteps and miscalculations. This threat, of course, against Israel and Israel's strike against the Iranians that were working inside of Syria in a base there near Hama. And that, no doubt, is only going to escalate this whole war in the region. And Israel also, Prime Minister Netanyahu, in an exchange of warring words with Iran, is definitely not helping the situation none, and no doubt is only going to escalate this war with Syria, no doubt a launching pad for a war with Iran. And I say that too because the Saudis have said they are going to enter in the war. The Crown Prince there of Saudi Arabia said that they will enter into this war against the Syrian government for the alleged chemical attack on its own people. And the U.S., France, Britain all joining into this battle in order to, as they put it, also wipe out Iranian troops inside of Syria. So it's very obvious that Iran is going to be the target inside of Syria besides Bashar al-Assad. And we can only imagine what could be next. Italian Politics says here, the Trump administration is negotiating with Britain and France and other allies, including Arab governments, for their roles in Syrian operation, which could last several days, wiping the Iranian presence out, according to the Italian Politics, making that notation there. And Walid Shubat posted this here. This is something that I definitely see eye to eye with Wally on. Trump is allowing Turkey to invade Syria and declares that he wants to cooperate with Turkey to further empower the Turks. I have stated from the very beginning that this coup that happened in Turkey was all fabricated, no doubt to help cover up the rat line that the Turkish government was working. Prime Minister Erdogan at the time, Prime Minister not President, working with the CIA to bring the sarin gas and ISIS militants through his country into Syria to wage this war against the Syrian government. Very troubling indeed. And of course, Michael D., he shared a very interesting post here. And let me just kind of blow this up for you guys. This is near Novograd. This happened yesterday. Novograd, by the way, is not far from the Estonia border. This huge convoy of military equipment. Michael is a pretty sharp guy to begin with. He covers a lot of the events that are happening around Ukraine. I shot a tweet back to Michael to get his thoughts on this. We thought perhaps Russia is preparing for a possible conflict with NATO, even on the European front. Well, as he responded back to me there, he says here, any eventualities. So it's pretty obvious that Russia is not taking a chance whatsoever, and this war could come on a multiple front. We also know that Turkey has been threatening Greece for quite a while now. For the last couple of weeks, tensions have been rising with Turkey and Greece. We have Saudi Arabia, Israel with Iran. We have France, England, and the United States with Syria and Russia. We still have Kim Jong-un, although it's kind of quieting down there. That still could boil over. We could see Russia with a NATO battle on its doorsteps. Ukraine could go ballistic while Russia is tied up with a war in Syria. I would not put it past the Ukrainian government to take the opportunity to try to crush Donetsk and even begin to use bombers in retaliation. So Russia's been also preparing on all fronts as well, and it's just not going to look good, friends. Very, very sad, tragic situation to see the world headed to yet another world war. I'm Stephen Benoon. We'll be watching these things closely. We'll be up pretty late tonight just to see if anything is happening that we can report, get right on the ball for you to let you know as soon as we see something taking place, and then on in the next couple of days here in the event that the U.S. does not strike today. We've seen many times in the past that they'll prepare, but they won't strike at that rapidly. Now, Trump has been just the opposite. He's been the kind of guy that will pretty much lower the hammer just as quick as he's ready to do it. So I think there's a very serious possibility. Alex Jones on his page has been saying that tonight will be the night. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.